G'day guys, Nate here coming at you with the round 19 preview of Collingwood's clash against Carlton. Saturday night's MCG 7:35 p.m. start. No VFL for Collingwood this week. There is the VFLW, Collingwood taking on Box Hill. It's a Collingwood home game, but the VFLW game's being played in Box Hill. Hopefully for Collingwood's sake, back on the winners list, losing to North Melbourne in the grand final rematch last week, Sunday Bundoora. 3-point loss in the end, and they could have won the game in the end, almost completing the comeback in the final quarter, but not to be. North Melbourne, they're the best team in the competition in terms of the women's program, AFLW, VFLW. For Collingwood's VFLW side, they are challenging North Melbourne. I do think Collingwood can pip North Melbourne in the VFLW this year, but they got another crack at them later in the year and hopefully for finals as well. For this week, they've got Box Hill in Box Hill. That's at 12 p.m., Box Hill City Oval. And then we've got Collingwood against Carlton, AFL at the MCG. Before I get into this preview, though, just want to say thank you guys for the recent support. It's been quite the week for me on Pies Footy. I laid in for the Billy Frampton live stream, cleared after almost 5.5 hours, pretty much. Yeah, didn't expect it to go that long. I made a cameo appearance on Into the Woods live stream last night. I was expecting to do about a couple of hours here and there, but it was basically 3 hours with Pies Footy, half an hour with Into the Woods. Great live streams as well. Swoop Luke live streaming as well. So all the live streams occurring, except for me being involved. So been quite the week. I'm not feeling well as of this recording. So if this preview is not in depth, I do apologize for that. But I am going to do a team selections final word video on Friday night, not Thursday night. Again, not feeling too well. But I will be posting on Instagram. So the team selections will be uploaded on Thursday. Got to figure out something for Wednesday night for my Instagram upload, but that's all to watch this space. But yeah, cheap plugs. Follow me on Instagram. Give the video a like. After you watch this review, that is, or give it a dislike. All feedback's welcome. Share it around. Subscribe if you're not already. The road to 1,000 subscribers is truly on. But again, cheap plugs out of the way. Let's get into this round 19 preview. So I watched Carlton v Hawthorn last week. Hawthorn winning by 64 points Saturday night MCG. Wet weather conditions, wet weather and then some in the first half. Uh, a 10 plus goal or 60-point loss or more in wet weather conditions against Hawthorn at the MCG. Not a foreign concept to Collingwood fans. Carlton, their 7-game win streak comes to an end. I don't think the sugar rush is over, though. It's one bad loss, I know, but I think there's some Carlton fans thinking the fun is over. They've got a massive 6 games to end their season. They've got quite a few 8-point games. They're looking at this game as a must-win game, and for all the right reasons as well. Not just in terms of the Carlton v Collingwood rivalry, but it's 8th v 12th. I feel like in terms of the rivalry, the history, the stakes involved, where we're at with our current form, I feel like this is a much bigger clash. You'd expect 85,000 at the MCG and then some. To be honest, I wouldn't look too far into Carlton's loss against Hawthorn, wet weather conditions. However, I did notice their lack of movement in the second half going forward. Stuck in the back line, Hawthorn's pressure was immense after halftime. The scoreline doesn't suggest it up till half time, but it felt like Carlton adjusted quicker to the conditions compared to Hawthorn. It was just that Hawthorn were able to put it on the scoreboard compared to Carlton. And then you got that second half where Hawthorn just ran away with a 10 goal, 64-point win pretty much. Again, a 60 plus point loss in wet weather conditions against Hawthorn. Not a foreign concept to Collingwood fans. So, Carlton fans, I sympathise with you there. Everywhere else, you can piss off. So this game, 8th v 12th, it's another 8-point game for us. We are 6 points ahead of Carlton, though, on the AFL ladder. This is still an 8-point game. This is a chance for Collingwood to get 5 wins in a row, shave your head sort of territory, but also create an official buffer on the bottom 8 sides and have 1 foot in wildcard purgatory for good. And then we'll become a wildcard team at worst, and then we can look towards the top 6 and a massive 5-game stretch to end our home and away season. But it's 1 week at a time. We've got to focus on Carlton here. We do have the recent head-to-head records, the recent form against Carlton. We've got the jump. We are their bogey side. Let's be perfectly honest about that. But we cannot take Carlton lightly. Now, a lot has changed since we last played Carlton. They sacked Michael Voss. Josh Fraser is their interim coach. 7 wins, 1 loss since Josh Fraser took over. The fucking prick. He was supposed to be an inside agent. What are you doing, Josh Fraser? But Carlton, to be fair, from the games I've seen from Carlton, besides that loss against Hawthorn, they've looked good. They're finally evolving and adapting to the current game. Their midfield game isn't as strong compared to previous seasons, but their back line's solid. Their forward line, it can be potent at times. So quite simply, it's a Carlton side we can't take too lightly. We need to respect the opposition. Yes, we've got the jump on them. We've got the recent record over them. Newer fans may think it's not a rivalry, but it is a rivalry, massive stakes involved, 8 point game. We haven't beaten a team above us, that's fair enough, but we go into these top six clashes in a few weeks' time with wins on the board and confidence and the ability and the belief to actually beat the top six sides. It starts here. I keep saying this each week, but it starts here. Get the win over Carlton, 5 wins in a row. Then we take on Adelaide, Geelong, Brisbane, Hawthorn. A trip over to Perth against West Coast, not an easy task, but have 5 wins in a row creates that belief to take on and hopefully beat these bigger sides. Now, just with our current injury list, a few tests for this game. Jeremy Howe, Isaac Quaynor, hopefully both are available. Thankfully, Billy Frampton is cleared again. So thankfully, our back line is not destroyed for this game. Lero Smith, TJ, both a test. Concussion protocols for Smith, TJ with the hamstring. But no VFL this week, so you'd expect them both to return next week. Lockie Schultz, the big update there. Cinder Moses, ankle injury, out for 2 to 4 weeks. Now, it says 2 to 4 weeks, but this is a murky time of the year where these sort of time frames for these injuries, be skeptical with it, all right? So, not just for Collingwood's sake, but for every other club as well for these sort of injuries, i.e., Jeremy Cameron with the AC joint. What they're mentioning for time frames, don't take it to the bank, is what I'm going to say for that one. So, Lockie Schultz, 2 to 4 weeks. If he's not back in 2 to 4 weeks, he may not be back at all this year. So, that's a genuine watch this space. No Darcy Moore, Jamie Elliott, Oscar Steen, or Reef McInnes to carry out our campaign for the rest of 2026, unfortunately. But in terms of selection speculation, thankfully, again, with Billy Frampton cleared, we hope that Jeremy Howe and Isaac Quaynor, uh, they're available. Isaac Quaynor returns. Jeremy Howe is available for this game. So it'd just be at least one forced change with Lockie Schultz. I'd expect Jack Buller to be dropped, unfortunately. Maybe not unfortunately, but based off his recent performances, you'd expect one of Charlie West or Mitch Badatsky to come in for Jack Buller. Maybe it's a long shot, but Harrison Coe to pinch hit in the ruck, allow Darcy Cameron to rest up forward, and whoever's playing in the centre ball ups for that ruck spot, fill a hole down back. Something to think about there, but I don't think it's going to occur. I know there's talks on Ned Long, Bo McCreary, a lesser extent Dan Houston, but in my opinion, we can't be chopping and changing inside too much. Look at what happened last year, managing players, dropping players. We didn't know what our best 23 looked like, even before the bye we were chopping and changing the side. I wasn't happy with the lack of cohesion or the chemistry with the side. We're not making as many changes after the bye, and that's a good thing. It's one of the many reasons why we've won 4 games in a row. So I expect probably 2 changes for this game, maybe 2 changes at least. We had 3 changes against Gold Coast. One was a late in, Angus Anderson for Scott Pendlebury. I wouldn't manage players for this game. I think next week you'd expect a few managed players against Adelaide. Disappointing. It's an 8 point game there if we beat Carlton here. But I expect 2 changes. Lockie Schultz, Jack Buller out. Schultz with the injury, Jack Buller being dropped. And then one of Harvey Harrison, Will Hayes or Roan still comes in for Lockie Schultz. Harvey Harrison has the pressure he can provide. Will Hayes provides pace. Roan still has the versatility. And then if it's Roan Steele, then you can have Bo McCreary playing as a forward only. Go back to basics with Bo McCreary. I wouldn't have Ned Long playing in the forward line. I don't think it's a role for him, unfortunately. But there's a few magnets to be moved around. And again, I think it's a good reason why I'll put the team selections final word video up on Friday so that once the teams are announced and the magnets are there, I can explain or somewhat justify the positional changes or the magnets being moved or the omissions or any sort of changes to the best 23. So again, I think at least 2 changes. Schultz, Buller out, and I think one of West or Badatsky in for Buller. And I'm going to lean towards Harvey Harrison in for Lockie Schultz. We don't have a small lead out forward for this game. No pressure up forward with Lockie Schultz. Number one for tackles inside 50. We don't have that, unfortunately. So got to lower the eyes and find McStay, Membry, and a third key forward heading inside 50. Carlton's back line, not to be messed around with. So, yeah, we've got a challenge on our hands there. Just getting to the compare the pair. Pies 11th for points for, top 4 for points against. Carlton 15th for points for. I did say their forward line can be potent at times. The score line or the scoreboard doesn't say so, but you just never know with Harry Mackay, Mitch McGovern, bit of X factor right now, underrated key forward at the moment. Ben Ainsworth, a decent recruit for Carlton in 2026, kicking goals. Hayward, bit of X factor there. So can't take Carlton's forward line lightly in this game. Carlton ninth for points against, so mid-table there. I was surprised, as I said earlier, about Carlton with their hitouts and clearances, basically their midfield game isn't too dissimilar to us in terms of the compare the pair, but Carlton ahead compared to us. Collingwood third for tackles and second for tackles inside 50, but that will be tested against Carlton. If their ball movement's there, our forward 50 pressure may not be there, unfortunately. And Carlton can apply the pressure as well. They could beat us for tackles inside 50 and for tackles around the ground. So something to look for there. Collingwood second for rebound 50s, Carlton eighth for rebound 50s, but Carlton in the last 2 months, they're moving the ball better. Our defensive 50, methodical, professional in doing so, mature as well, not throwing on the boot, quicker when they need to, but not many stats though where Carlton stick out with their interim coach. Their development's the key factor there. But just getting into the recent history, Collingwood leads the overall head-to-head, 136 wins, 4 draws, 129 losses. We've won the last 5 games against Carlton, 8 of the last 9 against Carlton, basically under Craig McRae pretty much. I had mentioned the head-to-head record since we've turned to an 18-team competition since 2012 or start of 2013 in previous previews to Carlton. So basically, in the last 10 plus years, we've got the jump, the head-to-head over Carlton. Hopefully, it's the tides aren't turning for this game. A few fun facts for certain Collingwood players. Tim Membry, just like last week, another fun fact for Tim Membry here. Loves playing against Carlton, has kicked 35 goals across 15 games played against Carlton throughout his career. Always Bob's up for at least 2 goals against Carlton. Played at the MCG, so I don't expect Tim Membry to kick 3 or 4 goals, maybe 2 goals for Tim Membry's sake. But a more weird fact in regards to Lockie Schultz. Last year, Collingwood were 9 wins, 0 losses without Lockie Schultz in 2025. Hopefully that trend continues, but I want to see Lockie Schultz back in no time. And the last time we played Carlton, we won by 5 points earlier in the year, 13-10-88 to Carlton, 12-11-83. Nick Dacos' 100th game, his final quarter, the best quarter of footy I've seen from Nick Dacos throughout his career. 3 goals down at three-quarter time, 13 points up with 5 minutes to go. We almost blew 2 premiership points there. Taylor Byrne missing the shot after the siren. Not a way to win a game of footy. Sorry to say that, but to win that game, unbelievably, Oscar Steen was massive in the final quarter. Everyone was massive in that final quarter. We need that sort of effort, that final quarter effort for 4 quarters here against Carlton. They're going to come out guns blazing. We just know with Carlton. Their first quarters aren't that good, but you just know against Collingwood, they will take it to us. It does seem like their fans take this rivalry a lot more serious compared to their players, and it's the Collingwood players who take this rivalry the most serious compared to everyone else. And the fans, Collingwood fans, just sit back and relax and let the result play out. But my keys to victory for this game, for Carlton, there's a lot of keys to victory, but I'm going to narrow it down to 4 as usual. The first key to victory, barbecue. Bolder, braver, quicker. Be bolder, be braver, be quicker. We've looked unbelievable in the last 4 games, particularly after the bye. Port Adelaide, Richmond, Gold Coast, North Melbourne. They're not teams in the top 8 or top 10 at the moment. I know it's not a scalp, whatever, but from our eyes and our attack or our attacking game, our rebound 50 game, we're kicking goals, slingshot footy, goals from centre clearances, even though the midfield still break even. Our defensive game still holding up well, top 4 in the competition. Our forward line slowly improving with the efficiency inside 50, shots at goal. Accuracy still a lot to be desired there, but we're taking our chances each week at a time, and we simply can't go into our shell for this game against Carlton. No slow, methodical sort of game plan. Keep it as it is the last 4 weeks, and we'll get our due rewards for this one. The second key to victory is for Collingwood to not get monstered in the back line. Now, I had this as a key to victory if Billy Frampton was suspended still. Even with Frampton in the side, we still can't be monstered against Carlton's forward line. Harry Mackay, he had a decent first half against us last time we played, got knocked out from Harry Perham or concussed. But we can't allow Harry Mackay, Mitch McGovern, Brody Kemp, or any of these Carlton forwards to have an impact or dominate us in the back line. The third key to victory, forward half pressure. Whoever has, I'll make a call right now. Whoever has more tackles inside 50 will win the game. Carlton absolutely capable of beating us for tackles inside 50, tackles around the ground. We're going to find out in the first 5-10 minutes if Carlton's pressure's there. And the final key to victory is to break even in the midfield. I'm not expecting us to dominate in the midfield, even though with Nick Dacos in the midfield, Jordan Nagelli, Pendlebury, a few others in there, Ed Allen, hopefully against Cripps, Walsh, maybe George Hewitt, Jagger Smith. I'd like to see us beat Collins midfield here. Just something for once to beat them in the centre clearances, the contested possessions, the tackles, you name it. Not a 50-50 or break even. I think break even will be enough, bare minimum. But I would just hate for this 4-game winning streak to come undone against Carlton and then a massive 5-game stretch to end our home and away season. July is big boy month. So far, so good in July. It's typically this month of the year where Collingwood falters. 2024, 2025, under the Buckley era. So far, so good in 2026. Similar to 2022. We've got a win streak going on. Hopefully, it's 5 wins in a row. Hopefully, people are shaving their heads for this win, and then we go on from there. But I'll wrap up this video here. I'll do the team selections final word video on Friday. Round 19 review will be up on Sunday morning. Saturday night, the reaction to this game against Carlton. No VFL. There's a VFLW game. I'll post on Instagram Saturday afternoon the result. And then, yeah, I'll leave you guys all to it. I hope you guys are having a good week so far. Please be well. Please be safe. Another impromptu ending, but I'll see you guys Friday night for the team selections final word video. Up the Pies.